November 8, 1942, Jebel Mujajo, Algeria. Obergefreiter Klaus Becker settles into his concealed position among the rocky outcrop overlooking the coastal road, his carabiner 98K rifle resting against a sun-heated boulder. Through his Zeiss F-42 scope, he watches heat shimmer rising from the dirt track below. 200 meters downslope, thorny scrub vegetation provides natural camouflage for his three-man observation team. The Mediterranean breeze carries salt air and distant engine sounds. American vehicles approaching from the landing beaches. The patrol emerges around the hillside bend. 12 soldiers moving in loose formation, their unfamiliar helmets marking them as the American forces that landed 3 days ago during Operation Torch. Becker studies them through his scope, noting their cautious movement, weapons held ready. These aren't green troops despite intelligence assessments claiming American inexperience. But something about their rifles looks different from British Lee Enfields he's faced before. Becker has 37 confirmed kills since France in 1940, another 23 in Yugoslavia, 14 more during the North African campaign. He knows the rhythm of infantry combat, the careful stalk, the single precise shot, the bolt action cycling smoothly as he chambers another round. His Kar 98K is an extension of his body after 3 years of war. 5 rounds in the internal magazine, deadly accurate to 500 meters. Superior marksmanship and German tactical doctrine have always overcome Allied numerical advantages. The American point man reaches the designated kill zone. Becker's finger rests against the trigger, breathing steady, waiting for the patrol leader to enter optimal range. Below him, Gefreiter Hans Müller and Schütze Otto Klein prepare their own Kar 98KS, covering alternate sectors. Standard ambush doctrine. Kill the leaders first, pin the survivors, withdraw before they organize counterfire. Becker's crosshairs settle on the sergeant's chest. He exhales slowly, squeezes. The crack of Becker's rifle echoes across the hillside. The sergeant drops. Becker's hands move automatically. Bolt up, back, ejecting the spent casing. Forward, down, chambering a fresh round. 2 seconds. But before he reacquires his target, the Americans respond with a volume of fire that shouldn't be possible. 8 rifles erupt simultaneously, not scattered, responsive soldiers working bolt actions, but sustained rapid fire, bang, 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 like machine guns, except these are individual rifles. Becker flinches as rounds crack past his position, impacting rocks with sharp reports. The Americans aren't just returning fire, they're delivering aimed shots in rapid succession. Through his scope, he watches one soldier firing, the rifle kicking against his shoulder, another shot, another. No pause for bolt manipulation, no interruption in firing rhythm. 8 rounds minimum before he could possibly be reloading. Impossible. Rifles don't work that way. Muller fires twice from Becker's left, working his bolt between shots. An American rifleman pivots, delivers 4 rapid shots toward Muller's muzzle flash. Rock chips explode around Muller's position. He ducks, chambers another round. By the time he's ready to fire again, 3 different Americans have sent 15 rounds toward German positions. The mathematical advantage becomes obvious. Each American delivers firepower equivalent to 2, maybe 3 German riflemen. Klein fires from the right flank, his shot striking an American in the leg. The soldier drops, but his companions immediately suppress Klein's position with concentrated fire. Klein works his bolt action, 5 rounds in his rifle against Americans firing 8 times before reloading. He squeezes off another shot, but incoming fire forces him flat. Becker watches Klein try to rise for a 3rd shot and go down permanently as American rounds find him. Rückzug, Becker shouts. Withdraw. 3 German rifles cycling bolt actions against 12 Americans with semi-automatic weapons means the Americans achieve fire superiority within seconds. Becker fires once more, his 4th shot total, then scrambles backward through the rocks as American fire brackets his former position. Muller follows, managing 2 shots before retreating. Below, the Americans advance, their rifles barking steadily. 200 meters up the slope, Becker and Muller reach the fallback position. Becker's hands shake slightly as he secures his rifle. Klein is dead. The Americans took 1 casualty, wounded, not killed. The exchange rate should favor German marksmanship and superior positioning. Instead, American firepower negated every German advantage. What were those rifles? Muller asks, breathing hard. Becker shakes his head. Whatever the Americans brought to North Africa changes the fundamental calculus of infantry combat. 1 rifle firing 8 shots without reloading. November 10th, 1942. German Tactical Headquarters, Oran Sector. Becker stands before Hauptmann Ernst Weber's field desk, delivering his after-action report while Weber examines a captured American rifle laid across maps of the coastal region. The weapon is longer than a Kar 98K, dark wood stock polished to a sheen, with a distinctive en-bloc clip protruding from the bottom. M1 rifle, caliber .30, Weber reads from translated markings. Semi-automatic, gas-operated, 8-round internal magazine. He works the action experimentally. The bolt cycles smoothly without manual manipulation. Weber calls in Oberleutnant Friedrich Stein, the battalion's weapons specialist. Stein strips the captured M1 Garand with practiced efficiency, laying components across the desk. Gas cylinder, operating rod, bolt assembly, trigger group. American designation, U.S. rifle, caliber .30, M1, designed by John Garand, adopted 1936. He reassembles it, explaining the gas operation system. Each fired round bleeds gas through a port, drives a piston that cycles the action automatically. The shooter simply pulls the trigger 8 times consecutively. Becker watches Stein demonstrate. The weapon shoulders naturally, sights align intuitively. Rate of fire? Weber asks. Stein consults captured technical manuals. Sustained, 40 to 50 aimed shots per minute. Our Kar 98 key, operated by expert riflemen, achieves 15 rounds per minute maximum. The mathematics speak plainly. 1 American rifleman equals 3 German soldiers in volume of fire. A 12-man American squad outputs firepower equivalent to a 36-man German platoon. Weber pulls after-action reports from other sectors. The pattern repeats. German units reporting unexpectedly heavy American fire, confusion about automatic weapons that turned out to be standard rifles, casualties from rapid-aimed fire that overwhelmed German return fire. One report from Oberst Hans-Joachim von Arnim notes, American marksmanship is mediocre, but their volume of fire compensates significantly. Our soldiers cannot match their sustained firepower. Stein compares the weapons technically. The Kar 98K, magnificent engineering, 5-round internal magazine, bolt action perfected over decades, accurate to 800 meters in skilled hands. The rifle represents German manufacturing excellence, precise tolerances, quality materials, traditional craftsmanship, but it requires manual cycling between shots. 2 seconds, minimum, between aimed shots for expert marksmen, 4 seconds for average infantry. The M1 Garand. Semi-automatic operation, maintaining sight picture, between shots, 8 rounds fired as fast as the trigger can be pulled, reloading accomplished by inserting a fresh en bloc clip in under 3 seconds. The distinctive ping when the empty clip ejects signals reloading, but by then 8 rounds have already impacted downrange. Stein demonstrates the reload. Clip inserted, bolt released, weapon ready. 2 seconds. Faster than cycling a bolt action once. Why didn't we develop similar weapons, Becker asks. Stein's response carries frustration. We did. The Gewehr 41, the Gewehr 43 semi-automatic rifles in development and limited production, but they're complex, expensive, difficult to manufacture in quantity. High Command prioritized submachine guns and machine guns over semi-automatic rifles. The Americans apparently prioritized equipping every infantryman with semi-automatic capability. Strategic decisions made in Berlin years ago now manifest as tactical disadvantages. The discussion turns tactical. How do German infantry counter American firepower superiority? Stein suggests increasing machine gun support. Each squad needs MG-42 fire to match American rifle firepower, but machine guns require crews, ammunition bearers, specific tactical employment. Weber proposes emphasizing marksmanship. German soldiers must make every shot count. Becker knows this is wishful thinking. Superior training cannot overcome firing 4 times slower than your opponent. Muller enters with intelligence summaries. American production figures indicate millions of M1 Garands manufactured. Every infantry division, every rifle company, every squad equipped standardly with semi-automatic weapons. Germany cannot match this production scale. The Gewehr 43 exists, but remains scarce, issued to designated marksmen, not standard infantry. The Kar 98K will remain Germany's primary rifle because retooling factories exceeds Germany's industrial capacity while fighting on multiple fronts. Weber closes the meeting with sobering acknowledgement. We cannot change our weapons. We must adapt our tactics, emphasize cover, fire discipline, coordinated machine gun employment. Avoid sustained firefights, where American firepower advantages matter most. Becker listens, understanding what isn't said. German infantry must fight smarter because they cannot fight equally. The Americans brought industrial warfare to the individual soldier level. Germany's response is better tactics. It's an imbalanced equation that favors the side with semi-automatic rifles. January 1943. Tunisia. Becker observes American positions from a ridgeline, watching their patrol patterns through binoculars. After 2 months fighting Americans, he's learned their tendencies: aggressive fire and the movement, heavy ammunition expenditure, reliance on suppressive fire rather than precision shooting. But that suppressive fire works. 8 rounds delivered rapidly create psychological pressure that 5-round bolt actions cannot match. German doctrine emphasizes accurate fire. American doctrine emphasizes overwhelming firepower. In practical combat, overwhelming firepower wins. His new squad, replacements for Klein and others lost since November, consists of young soldiers fresh from training. Gefreiter Paul Richter, 19 years old, handles his Kar 98K with nervous competence. Becker briefs them on American tactics. They'll fire more rounds in 30 seconds than you'll carry in your ammunition pouches. Don't try to outshoot them. Use cover. Fire when you have certain targets. Relocate constantly. If you exchange fire with Americans, their volume overwhelms you. The engagement begins unexpectedly. An American patrol encounters Becker's observation post at 80 meters. Too close for withdrawal, Becker fires first, dropping the point man. Then American rifles erupt with devastating rapid fire. Richter works his bolt, fires, cycles again, but incoming rounds force him down. Becker fires his second shot, but 8 American rifles create a bulleted storm. He counts 8 soldiers, 64 rounds total capacity. His 3-man team carries 15 rounds ready. The Americans employ fire and movement. Half the squad shooting while others advance, then roles reverse. Each bound brings them closer while maintaining suppressive fire. It works because semi-automatic rifles allow individual soldiers to suppress effectively while moving. German doctrine requires machine guns for suppression, riflemen for precision. Without a machine gun, Becker's team cannot suppress American movement. They can only fire individually. Hoping to hit advancing soldiers between covered positions, Richter manages 3 shots before an American round catches him in the shoulder. He drops, screaming. Becker shoots twice more, emptying his magazine. He reloads from stripper clips. 5 rounds pushed into the internal magazine. The reload takes 4 seconds. In that time, the nearest American fires 6 rounds, advances 10 meters, takes cover. Becker fires again, misses. The American returns fire immediately. 3 rapid shots forcing Becker flat. Rückzug, Becker orders. He drags Richter backward while providing covering fire. 2 shots before diving as American return fire intensifies. The tactical mathematics are brutal. 3 Germans with bolt-action rifles face 8 Americans with semi-automatics, and the Americans win through sustained fire that German soldiers cannot match mechanically. Training and courage cannot overcome firing rates determined by weapon design. February 1943. Kasserine Pass. During infantry consolidation, American riflemen hold positions that German tactical doctrine says should collapse. A single American squad in a farmhouse delivers sustained defensive fire that pins down Becker's entire platoon. They're not using machine guns, just M1 Garands. 8 shots per rifle, rapid reloads, continuous fire. German infantry cannot assault through that volume without prohibitive casualties. The battalion calls artillery support. Shells reduce the farmhouse to rubble. When German infantry advance, they find 3 dead Americans and evidence of a squad position. Empty M1, Garand clips scattered everywhere, hundreds of spent brass casings. 12 soldiers held off 40 Germans for 20 minutes through firepower alone. Becker examines an intact M1 Garand among the wreckage. This weapon represents American industrial philosophy, mass production, creating reliable effectiveness distributed to every soldier. March 1943, after-action review. Casualty reports show disturbing patterns. German infantry losses in firefights exceed American losses even when Germans hold superior positions. Officers debate explanations. Some blame declining recruit quality, others cite American artillery. Becker knows the real reason. The M1 Garand gives Americans tactical advantages that German doctrine cannot overcome. Every small unit engagement becomes a contest between accurate, slow fire versus rapid, suppressive fire, and rapid fire wins. May 1943, Tunisia falls. Becker survives the surrender. In the POW camp, he discusses the war with other captured soldiers. The consensus emerges. Americans won through material superiority. But in Becker's experience, the superiority began at the individual soldier level. 1 American rifleman with an M1 Garand delivered firepower that required 3 Germans with Kar 98Ks to match. Everything else built upon that fundamental advantage. A captured Oberleutnant argues that Russian tactics pose greater threats. Becker disagrees. The Russians overwhelmed through numbers, the Americans overwhelmed through industrial capacity. They equipped every soldier with a semi-automatic rifle. We built better rifles individually. They built adequate rifles that fired twice as fast and gave them to everyone. Strategic thinking versus tactical thinking. They chose correctly. Years later, Becker returns to Germany. He tries forgetting the war. But sometimes he thinks about that November morning when he first heard M1 Garand's firing, the rapid bangs that shouldn't have been possible. Klein dying because German bolt actions couldn't match American semi-automatics. Germany built magnificent weapons. America built adequate weapons in overwhelming quantities. In total war, adequacy multiplied by millions defeats, magnificence distributed to thousands. 8 shots without reloading changed everything.